Blessings, 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 everybody. We back one more time. It's your boy Priest King Tony. Gonna get into some thoughts heading to these game fives. Been some entertaining series so far. Everybody has played up to game 4, so now is a good time to come in and inject some thoughts, talk about how the series is playing out so far, and then talk about where do we see the series going from here. So a lot has been happening. A lot has happened since the last time. I believe we was on game 1 last time, so we're gonna get into these series. See what the future holds, baby. See what Priest King Tony thinks the future holds. I know it's a lot of anticipation for me to talk about a certain series, so we'll get to that when it's time to get to that. But let's get into these series, man. First, of course, we have the Knicks. Let me pull it up for y'all real fast. Knicks and the Heat. Knicks and the Heat, man. Knicks and the Heat. The Heat is now up 3-1 on the New York Knicks. It's been a physical series. Like I thought, it's been a very defensive series. But the Heat have got so many contributions from the others, it has been too much for the Knicks to really overcome. Of course, you had your guys, your name guys going off, you know, playing solid to good games, but it's really been the collective of the Heat that has really been too much for the Knicks to overcome. You saw the Knicks really get handled in game 3. Game 4 was closer, you know, but the Heat was still able to prevail and go up 3-1 on the Knicks. This series was pretty much going like I said it was going to go. It's going to be a defensive series, not really no high-scoring games. You know, even in Game 3 when it was a blowout, the Heat still only put up 105. The game high for right now is still 111. So I won't say it's not a bad matchup because both of the teams, like I said, is really as close to a mirror match as you can get when you're talking basketball. It's two defensive teams who struggle to score, and right now the Heat is just doing a little bit more to be able to score. So now the series is gonna shift back. They're gonna go back to New York. Can the Knicks get another win, force a game 6, go back to Miami, and then force a game 7? It's not probable, but it's not impossible. So we'll see how this series goes. You know, Brunson is a hooper. I love Brunson game, but you know, it's always been a thing of your best player. It's hard to win when your best player is small. That's just how it always been. And Brunson is a guy small in stature. He's big in heart, you know, like they say, he's big in heart. But can this team win on the back of Brunson, you know, being the best player? Because Julius Randle, you know, he came back from injury, and I mean, he's giving you Julius Randle. Nothing spectacular, nothing too bad. Clearly a 2. Clearly not a best player on the team. So we'll see what happens with this series as this series shifts back to New York. I pick Heat in 7. It could still go to 7. There is a pathway till it's still going to 7 because outside of that third game, the Heat didn't really just dominate them ridiculously to where now you should feel like, oh, we have no chance. It's 3-1. The Heat have the advantage, so now it's time for the Knicks to respond. So what do the Knicks do? Do the Knicks fold? Do the Knicks lay down and just get it over with in New York? They go ahead and stay home. They can go right back home to their beds. They don't got to fly back to Miami. Or do they continue to fight, try to get this thing to 7? Because right now, that's their only hope, getting it to 7. Let's get to our next series. Nuggets and the Suns. Man. I put the popcorn on here. Y'all know I put the popcorn on here because I knew it was going to be a good series, but man, this series is currently 2-2. The Nuggets got the first 2, and then the Suns got the second 2. The home team has won all games. It seems like it's easy to just understand it as that. The home team got both games. Let's move on, continue to go to game 5, see if the home team keep it going. But Devin Booker is playing lights out, like ridiculously lights out. It's you know, I made the joke he's playing on the Game Shark. It's like it's unreal how good this dude is playing. You know, when we went through the series preview, that was one of my main questions I had. Can Devin Booker keep up this level of play? And this man is keeping up the level of play. Like of course, Kevin Durant has been Kevin Durant. I don't want it to overshadow that, but it is overshadowing it because of how good Devin Booker has missed. Like, the dude probably done missed 4 shots the whole series. He done probably took 120 shots and missed 4 of them. That's what it feels like. This man is really in the zone, as they say. And the Suns actually really needed. In the 2 wins that the Suns got at home, they averaged 80 points. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. And that is what they're going to need. You know, when the series started, I talked about the lack of depth that the Suns had compared to what the Nuggets have. And I think we saw it in the first 2 games, but the counter has been, well, we just gonna play Kevin Durant and Devin Booker all game. Because I mean, it's the playoffs. I mean, if they get tired, they get tired. But what's the alternative? Losing with them not on the floor. So right now, it's working for Phoenix. They was able to come back, tie the series up. Now that the series goes back to Denver 2-2, can Denver regroup? They lost all the momentum. They had all the momentum going forward, going into Phoenix. You know, they was winning pretty clearly, pretty handily. You know, even in game 2, we talked about it was a close game down until down the stretch. The Nuggets kind of pulled away. They ended up winning that game by 10. But the Suns was able to win 2 close games in Phoenix on the back of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant playing at historic levels. So what's going to happen for the rest of the series? It's a best-of-3 series now. It's 2-2. The first team to win 2 games is over with. So now it becomes which 2 is more likely. Which team is more likely to win 2? I love the Suns. I love those players, and I love Denver. I picked Denver in 7. It's looking like that's what it's going to be because I think both teams have a tremendous home court advantage in the sense of when they are at home, their role players really play great. On the road, their role players don't play as good, even though they don't really play that bad. But you can see there is a clear, distinct difference in how they play at home versus on the road, which you can say that for most teams, right? But it seems like it's more pronounced in this series, at least so far, by the product that we're seeing on the floor. So going into game 5, the Nuggets are obviously the favorites. You know, they've been one of the best teams in the league the whole season. So we'll see how this series goes, man. I called Nuggets at 7. Nuggets at 7 is still alive. The Suns looked dead in the water at first when Chris Paul got hurt. We thought it was over. When they said Chris Paul was going to miss them games, I know I did. I'll be real to say I thought it was over. Chris Paul was out 3 games minimum, so it's over with. Because they need Chris Paul contributions to even try to win a game because of the lack of depth. But Monty pulled the strings. Monty said, hey, y'all boys gonna play 44, 45, and up. Y'all gonna play every minute of the game. I get y'all a little rest when I can, but for the most part, y'all gonna be out there. And it seems like that's what made the difference when they went to Phoenix. I know they probably played a lot of minutes in Denver too, so we'll see how the series shifts back. How does Denver respond to losing all the momentum now? It seems like all the momentum is on Phoenix side. You know, I'm gonna talk about this because obviously it's a hot topic. In game 4, Jokic gets tied up in the stands with the fans, and he pushes the Suns owner, and the man gets a tick. Now, it's funny because, of course, everybody's going to say, if that was anybody else, but it is true, though. If that was Draymond would have got kicked out the game and suspended. Neither happened to Jokic. I think they did. They fined him $25,000, which is clearly nothing to that man. But it's just funny how, I guess it's like a precursor for when I get to that series. It's just funny how the officiating has been this season, man, how up and down it's been, but it comes with the game, man. It comes with the game. Got to keep playing. You got to see what it is. I applaud the Suns that, you know, they didn't make a big deal out of it and try to get the man suspended. You know, I think that at some point your competitive spirit comes in and you want to play the team at its strength. You want to play the team at its best. So we'll see how the series continues to go. I think Nuggets in 7 is still a safe pick for me. I think at the end of the day, the depth will prevail, but if Devin Booker not missing no shots, what can you do if you're Denver? The man just not missing. It's like you playing good defense. It look like, oh, he's taking that tough shot. That's for sure coming off, and it's hitting the bottom of the nets every time. So it's a good series so far. The popcorn has definitely been out for this one. So series shifting back to Denver. Still got Denver in 7. Let's see what kind of historic performances come out of this, man. Because even with me saying that about Kevin Durant and Booker, Jokic has been going off too. Jokic has been playing crazy out of his mind too. So we'll see, man. We'll see how this series is gonna go, man. It's the war of the Titans right now. These teams both look like they're executing at a high level. They're playing really good. So I'm excited to see where this series goes, man. On to the next one. Let's go, Philly. Philly and Boston, man. Philly and Boston. Pull up the graphic. Philly and Boston. This series it's been a good series, man. That right now it's tied 2-2. Remember, James Harden played game 1 without Embiid. He went off. You know, game 2 and game 3, the Celtics were kind of able to bottle him up when Embiid came back. Embiid won MVP. You know, everybody wanted to see how was he going to play. Was he going to start going off? So then the 76ers find themselves down 2-1, game 4 at home. What they gonna do? And you saw a brilliant performance from Harden. You saw the team step up all around. You know, Harden hit the game winner essentially in the corner at the end. They bringing a double from Joel every time because the man is just hard to stop. You can't stop him just in single coverage. You have to bring a double for him, and his team has responded. Boston, like I said at one point in another video, Boston is mostly considered to be the best team left, you know, based on pundits, you know, because people hate when you say that because they're a fan of another team. They say, well, my team is the best team. Well, my team not considered the best team. I'm just talking about overall. But Philly seems to be right there with them. Philly is seeing snatched back all the momentum. So we'll see, man. Boston came and they revenged the game 1 loss. They got home court advantage back. So now they get to go back to the Boston Garden. They get to go back to the Garden and play again at home in front of their fans. Try to win this game 5. I picked Celtics at 7 before the series started. I still feel confident in Celtics at 7, but the thing about it is James Harden is starting to look like the old James Harden or the younger James Harden. However we want to say it, he's starting to look like he has that form, right? So you see in game 2 and 3, he played so bad, and you looking like, oh well, same old story. We know how this story goes. Harden, he had some good performances, but overall, when you need him in the playoffs, he's not there. He's not showing up. He's not giving you the production that you need that he's been giving you all year in order for your team to be successful. But we saw in game 4, he stepped up, he played big, he played huge, and they was able to win that game in overtime. So now the series becomes best of 3. First team to win 2 games. Is Boston gonna respond? Boston is well coached. You know, we always say that, we always talk about that. The roster construction is top notch from top to bottom. It's a balanced roster. So we're gonna see it. Is the brilliance of James Harden and Embiid enough to overcome this Boston Celtics team? I think it's a good matchup. That's why I picked the game to go to 7 in the first place. And I think it is probably going to 7. Of course, that's why they play the games, but it looks like the series is going to go to 7. Now, I will say Boston is entirely capable of coming out 2 games straight, clamping these boys up and getting them up out of here, setting up to go to the Eastern Conference Finals to probably play Miami at this point. Miami being up 3-1. So We'll see, man. This a great series. I still think Denver and Phoenix is the best series because of the just the level of performances that we're seeing in that series. But this has been a great series too. It's been a very entertaining series. Even with some of the lackluster performances, the games for the most part have been close. And then when you see Joel winning the MVP, and then you saw he kind of complained that they should do that before the playoffs start. It's a distraction and all that. I get it, Joel, but I mean, it's always been like that. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. I like Boston in 7 as my pick still. Philly is definitely fighting. Philly is definitely showing that they are hungry to try to make it past this little second round purgatory that they've been in. So we'll see how this series go, man. The series shifts back to Boston. Is Boston going to respond? They lost all the momentum. They went to Philly and stole back home court advantage. So what do they do now? Where do they go from here? Will Boston step up? Will Philly step up? Philly, obviously, it showed they're a formidable opponent. They're capable of winning on the road. They already have done it once this series. So Game 5, is pivotal in every series. Usually when series are 2-2, they say that the team that wins Games 5 usually wins the series. So headed back to Boston. That's a great series, man. I still like Boston in 7. So, of course, that's it in the video, everybody. I don't know. I don't think there's no more basketball getting played. I think that's it. We wrap it up here. Appreciate everybody's support. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave your comments, your thoughts on what's going on in the playoffs, man. I appreciate y'all coming with me, man. Talking about all the basketball that's being played because there is no other basketball to be talked about, right? Love y'all boys, you know what I'm saying? And girls, if y'all watching, young kids, cats, dogs, animals, any animal that's watching. Much love. Appreciate y'all. And we out, baby. Nah, I'm not gonna do that, man. Warriors and the Lakers, man. Whoa. Getting hot in here, man. It's getting hot in here. It's getting hot. It's getting hot. Lakers win a nail biter last night. Steph Curry was doing all that he could do, man, but at the end of the day, man, it just wasn't enough. Now, I think we talked about Game 1 last time. Went to Game 2. The Warriors get the blowout win at home. They feeling good. Go to LA and get blew out in Game 3. Now, a lot of talk was talked about the refs. The officiating was so lopsided in this series so far. Outside of last night in Game 2. But Game 1 and Game 3, it was just way, way, way in the favor of the Lakers, the amount of free throws that was being shot. Now, last night, I think it ended up getting close. I think they might even had the same amount of shots at one point. It was at one point, the Warriors getting everything in the paint that they wanted. The Lakers still had shot like 10 free throws to their 0. But last night was a good game, man. It was the Lonnie Walker game. I mean, that's what it boils down to. In the middle of games, we saw 2 blowouts. There's not much to talk about. Warriors blew them out at home. Lakers blew them out at home. Move on to Game 4 last night. Warriors was feeling good. They stayed in the game. Steph did everything that he could do besides making shots. He missed majority of his threes, even the one at the end. Although it's Steph Curry, man, I feel like you can get a better shot in that instance, but you live and die by that, man. It's Steph Curry. It's your best player getting the shot that he wanted in that situation. So Lakers now have 3-1 lead. Of course, they have all the momentum. Lakers fans and those that just want the Warriors to lose are, of course, excited. Most fan base is excited now because they feel like it's over with. The Warriors is for sure going to lose. But, hey, man, they came back down from 3-1 before. But the difference is now, man, I don't want to do it, man. I don't want to do it, man. But I'm trying to fight the urge. But Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, they are trash.
He needs some milk.
Oh, man, them boys. I got to do it twice because there's 2 of them.
He needs some milk.
Klay Thompson, pivotal Game 4, gives you 9 points. Jordan Poole doesn't give you anything. Man, Curry is out there doing whatever. He had a triple-double. He's trying his best, man, to get this team over the hump. And he's not really getting nothing from the supporting cast. You know, a lot was said it's a bad matchup for the Warriors, the Lakers size and all that, but it's a winnable game. It's been a winnable game. Even game one, the Lakers controlled game one for the most of the duration of that game. But you saw the Warriors went on a 14-0 run. I think at the end they really ended up only losing by 5. Last night it was a winnable game. I think they was up 5 or 7 going into the fourth. The Lakers quickly erased it because Lonnie Walker, man, who raised your hand if you knew Lonnie Walker was going to close the Warriors out last night? Nobody. The only person that knew it was that could even try to say he knew it was Ham. It's funny because this series was advertised as Steph versus LeBron one more time. Steph versus LeBron one more time, and it has not been that. The Lakers have won on the backs of everybody but LeBron. Like LeBron, of course, been LeBron. I'm not trying to say like he's just not been in the series, but for large portions of the series, LeBron has not had any real effect on the series. He hasn't been the best player in none of the games that they played. So, does it look like it's just too much for Steph Curry to overcome by himself? Now, I pick Warriors in 6. Of course, I pick Warriors in 6. Of course, that's dead now. They cannot. It's not possible for them to win in 6. But I still believe Warriors in 7. The King series, I picked Warriors in 6. They did not get it done, but they won in 7. Now, the difference is, in order for them to win in 7 this time, they have to win 3 games straight. But if we look at the games and how the games are going to be played, it's entirely possible they can win in 7. You got game 5 at home, which you can get that game. Accompanied of the fact that you probably won't get the Lakers' best effort because they know they can go back home and close it out. Now, this is a LeBron James-led team, and that's one thing I love about LeBron. It seems like LeBron is really not that type of player. LeBron doesn't really play games like that. You know how people say, I don't play games like that. LeBron really doesn't play games like that. LeBron is going to be important to these guys. Let's try to get this game 5, close it out. But the Warriors are going to be desperate. I think the Warriors should win game 5. I thought they was going to win game 4, so I'm going to preface a lot of my stuff by saying should, because at this point, I'm hanging on to a thread, man. I had Warriors in 6, that's dead. I got Warriors in 7, baby. We're going to keep it going. Until they lost, they haven't lost. It's the first of 4 wins, not the first of 3 wins. You know, it's a lot of celebration going on like it's over with. They writing them off. They talking about, is Trey going to be going all there? None of that matters right now. One thing that matters is play the next game. So I think game 5, Warriors win, right? We're looking at the path to victory, game 7. Game 6, the Warriors have won one road game in every series under Steve Kerr. What is it, like 27, 28 series straight? Warriors win game 6. Then it comes back to game 7. If this series goes to 7, it has to favor the Warriors, right? Because all of the pressure would shift to the Lakers. Of course, the Warriors will still be under pressure because it's a game 7, but just playing in the game 7, it kind of works in their favor, right? So all they can do right now is take a game at a time, game at a time, game at a time. We've seen Steph seems like he's there, but who is going to come to the party with him? Who's going to be able to play at a high enough level for them to pull it off? Because Klay talked a lot about how, you know, his dad played for the Lakers and he never got to play against the Lakers, and it's such a special series to him and all that. And the man, he only played good in 1 game. And ironically, that's the game that they won. So we'll see, man. Somebody got to go along for the ride in order for them to overcome this Lakers team, which is not unbeatable. You know, like just because they're up 3 games to 1 does not mean that this series is over, because this is not an unbeatable Lakers team. You know, last night really was a winnable game. Even game 1 was a winnable game if you guys make those deep shots. We're having a different conversation. So I think the Warriors put out a lot last night to try to get them some pain points. We'll see how Dark adjusted it. But I think it's only so much adjusting you can do, right? You adjusted it, then you give up something else. I think them winning the game, I think it'll get them a little bit more confidence to stick to the game plan, because they really have essentially, it seemed like just X Clay out of the series. They playing on him tight. They encouraging him to put the ball on the floor to try to get closer to the rim, and then take those tough fadeaways that he's taking because he's not going all the way to the rim. So we'll see how does Clay adjust? Does Draymond give you more? GP2 I think had 17 points last night because of that adjustment of them bringing AD into every pick and roll, and then that was opening up the paint a lot more for him. So we'll see how Game 5 goes, man. I believe wholeheartedly Warriors in 7. I think the pathway is there. Now it's just time for them to execute. Backs against the wall. Are they going to execute to the level enough to get it done? It's possible they can get it done. But in all fairness, like I said, in the Knicks and the Heat series, it's not probable. Probability is against both teams. Now it's up to them to see, can they beat the odds, man? So we'll see, man. I believe in Steph Curry. I believe that they can win Game 5, win that one road game that they need to win to keep the streak alive, and then go back to Golden State and the Chase Center and close it out. It's possible. It's there. Are the refs going to continue to call a game like how close it was last night? But even still, the Warriors still lost. So you can make that argument. The Warriors still lost when they called the game close. So we'll see how it go, man. I truly believe Warriors is 7, baby. Warriors is 7 until they out of there. But Poole, Clay, Dre, you getting one too. Draymond getting one too.
Milk.
Somebody got to step up, help Curry out, man. People gonna laugh and say Curry don't got no help, all that. He don't got no help. Now you know how LeBron be holler. It don't matter. All that matters is Game 5, Game 6, Game 7. We'll be back as some of these series conclude. Don't forget, actually, to like, comment, subscribe, man. We out. Shalom.